Alright, I know what you're thinking, this isn't a typical Hypotheticals intro for a typical Hypotheticals video, and that's because I'm trying something new, okay? Don't hold it against me. Allow me to quickly explain myself. I do a ton of research for the videos I make, and because of that, I read through a lot of news. Most of it is pretty unimportant, but every now and then I find myself stumbling across a headline that seems pretty important and deserves more attention. On top of that, I feel like it's important to make the news more accessible and approachable. So that's what I want to do here. Welcome to Stick News, where every week, or however often I make one of these, I'll cover some of the news you may have missed and give some analysis on it, just so you can all keep up to date on what's happening. Don't worry though, this won't be replacing your regularly scheduled Hypotheticals content. It's just an added bonus. Another quick disclaimer, there may be stories I miss because I'm not perfect. If you think there's something worth sharing or have a story you want me to cover, feel free to comment down below. I'll do my best to cover it if I think it's something that people would want to learn more about. So don't be afraid to let me know, because I want to learn from you all as well. Let's get into it. Story number 1. Donald Trump is not happy right now, and neither are many of his supporters. After a photo of the crowd greeting Kamala Harris at an airport in Detroit went viral, several conservative figures on X accused the Harris campaign of using AI to draw up the images, calling them fake and claiming there was proof of it in the photos. Why is this news? Well, it got taken so far that Trump himself began promoting the idea, writing on Truth Social, quote, "Has anyone noticed that Kamala cheated at the airport? There was nobody at the plane and she AI'd it and showed a massive crowd of so-called followers. But they didn't exist. She was turned in by a maintenance worker at the airport when he noticed the fake crowd picture, but there was nobody there, later confirmed by the reflection of the mirror-like finish on the vice presidential plane. She's a cheater. She had nobody waiting and the crowd looked like 10,000 people. Same thing is happening with her fake crowds at her speeches. This is the way Democrats win elections, by cheating, and they're even worse at the ballot box. She should be disqualified because the creation of a fake image is election interference. Anyone who does that will cheat at anything." So yeah, that was something else. The only issue with Trump's post is that there are several different images and videos showing the exact same crowd size. There's quite literally zero truth to this whole AI conspiracy claim. Prominent Republicans have advised against Trump doing this too, such as former Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy, who said that Trump needs to make the race more about policies and less about personality. Anyways, we're just about 10 weeks away from Election Day, everybody. This is probably the first of many attacks that Trump and his campaign will launch against Harris in the coming weeks and months. If you thought things were messy now, just wait till you see how things are in mid-October, especially with Democrats starting to throw punches back at Republicans too. Story number 2. We're heading over to Europe, a place I rarely talk about in my videos. The Russia-Ukraine war continues to rage on, and Ukraine has launched its biggest counteroffensive on Russia yet. Ukrainian troops are full-on advancing into Russia right now, and Russian leader Vladimir Putin is ordering evacuations from multiple locations near the Ukrainian border. As of August 12th, the Moscow Times has reported that nearly 76,000 people have been evacuated thus far, and that number is expected to increase. It's become so bad for Russia that the Kremlin had to declare a state of emergency in the Kursk region where the Ukrainian counteroffensive is taking place. Yahoo has reported that the attack by 2 brigades took the Kremlin by complete surprise. So far, Ukraine is yet to make any comment on the attacks, which makes sense if they don't want Russia to know their plans. Many are speculating what their objective may be though. As Richard Kemp wrote for Yahoo in the Telegraph, quote, "Some have speculated that Kiev's objective might be to seize the Kursk nuclear power plant. That would be a major prize, and the risks of fallout would severely hamper efforts to recapture it, but it is around 40 kilometers beyond the ground Ukraine is currently fighting on, and almost certainly out of reach. The political value of this incursion might be greater than any specific military advantage. Ukraine's successful counterattacks in the Kharkiv area and around Kherson in 2022 galvanized international support. It has now been about 2.5 years since the current war between Russia and Ukraine formally began, and current fighting shows no signs of stopping. Kiev, Ukraine's capital city, is currently bracing for Russia's retaliation to their incursion, but it's unclear what that may look like. Stay tuned for more details, perhaps in a future video. Story number 3. Mpox, the virus formerly known as Monkeypox, is making a return. More specifically, a newer, more contagious strain of the virus has emerged, and it's responsible for a current outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. According to the Telegraph, there have been over 14,000 cases and 511 deaths recorded in the DRC this year, which is a huge increase from the 4,000 median cases reported annually between 2016 and 2022. In response to the rise in cases, the World Health Organization declared the spread a public health emergency of international concern on August 14th. Like I just said, the Mpox strain spreading in the DRC now is not the same one that made headlines in the US a couple of years ago. The new strain, known as Clade 1b, has been harder to detect and test due to genetic variations, leading to potentially missed cases. Additionally, there are still unclear transmission dynamics, which means that while scientists are sure it's spreading through sexual contact, they don't fully know if it can spread in other ways. Most of the cases cases and deaths associated with this new strain of Mpox have occurred in children under 15, meaning they're highly susceptible to this. Additionally, according to the Telegraph, quote, the spread of the variant to densely populated cities like Goma and Kinshasa, and regional mobility of persons from eastern DRC leading to cases in neighboring Rwanda, Uganda, and Kenya heightens the risk of international dissemination, making it a global threat. To be clear here, we're not on the verge of a global pandemic and global lockdowns like we saw with COVID. There is a vaccine available for Mpox, it just exists in limited supply right now, meaning it won't be widely available in Africa for the next couple of months. In all likelihood, the spread of Clade 1 Mpox will eventually be contained, and it won't be something to worry a lot about. We just need to make sure the right resources are directed at the problem before it gets even more out of hand. Story number 4. This should be a quick one because it's literally just based on one tweet that I saw, but AI continues to become more and more terrifying. Over on GitHub, a site where developers can create, store, manage, and share their code, a software called Deep Live Cam began to trend as the top code on the entire site. This software allows anyone to instantly convert a single image into a live stream deepfake, which has some insanely scary potential. I'm going to show you a quick video of the software in action. This video is not my own, but was posted to X by a user named Infoslacks. If you want to check him out, I'll link his account and his YouTube channel down below. Since there's no audio to this video, I'm going to talk over it. As you can see, the man on the left uploaded actor Karl Urban's face as a single image. The right shows his face with the deepfake on. And now he's Elon Musk. The image he uploaded can be seen on the left. Look how well the deepfake mimics his facial movements. It's insane to see that and know that AI is still in its infancy. Governments seriously need to act quickly, in my opinion, to get a handle on this stuff before it's too late. Imagine the type of impact this can have on an election cycle, or even just the news in general. Things could get extremely messy. If you want a more in-depth dive into AI, I've got a video for that too, which you should definitely go check out if you're interested. Phew, okay, that was a lot, and a lot of that news was pretty heavy. Here's a picture of some puppies to cheer you up a little bit. Okay, now I'm getting rid of them. Sorry, puppies. In the future, I'll probably end these videos with a happier story that I find interesting just because the news is so heavy all the time. We all deserve a bit of a break from the depressing stuff. Anyways, that's all I've got for this first episode of Stick News. Once again, this was kind of a pilot of sorts, since I'm looking to diversify the content I upload a bit. As such, I'm looking for any and all feedback you may have for me. Is the format good? Are the episodes too long? Too short? Do you hate my voice? I can't change that unfortunately, but I will still read your comment. If you'd like to read more about any of the stories I mentioned today, feel free to take a look at my sources down below, as everything I referenced is in there. Once again, this will not be replacing my regular content, so don't worry about that. And more than anything, I hope you enjoyed this first episode. Hopefully I'll be doing some more in the near future. Thanks for all your continued support. I hope to see you again soon. Take care.